This video, we're going to talk about how to combine different things to make the best possible build in the game. I'm your host, the one and only Coach M, and today we have some really good details on breaking things down to help you understand the synergy when it comes to NBA 2K23. So stay tuned, rock out with us. Let's go. All right, we're gonna jump right into this build and just check it out and talk about it as we go forward. First and foremost, while you're making your builds, as I continue to tell you, your physicals are the most important. They're the foundation. They're what unlocks specific badges on specific tiers. They also are what affects your attributes, okay? So without your attributes, you cannot unlock the badges properly. So you want to pay close attention to every specific badge that works for you and for this game as far as overall in the experience. There's a lot to get into when it comes to every single badge and things of that nature, which we'll get into at another time, but we do want to just quickly gloss over some of this so that you can understand. As this build is being made, you can see right here, there are certain things that are boosted up. As you can see, a 86 overall is going to help you unlock gold handles for days. You cannot get Hall of Fame though. But is this year's Hall of Fame worth it? Of course, there's going to be balance patches and things like that that will change. So we'll find that out as we go forward and have that right here for you as we go. But there's tons and tons of things to get into when we have a chart that you can actually look at and see for yourself and know what's going on. As you can see right here, there's plenty of details on specific things. And we're going to go down into the playmaking. Let's say you want to be the point guard and you want to be able to have handle for days on Hall of Fame. You're going to have a 99, which is a lot, folks, but that is important for any dribble head. But let's just say you're not focusing on dribbling, but you want to be very quick. You have to have also here some high stats to be able to get quick first step and speed with ball, an 88, the lowest you can get that with. And that is actually a really nice number, and that's going to be real good. But once again, as I pointed out, that's going to be very difficult to do, okay? Because you have to make sure your physicals allow you to have an 88. And this build does not, because it is 6'6", and it is very, very strong. We're not here to do a review on this specific build, but I do want to break down a couple of things so that you can understand how this all works and the system going from here. So pay close attention. First and foremost, as you can see here, this bad boy only has layups. So there's no dunks. And you know we love to dunk around here, but sometimes I do make builds with just layups and close shots, which is very, very skill based. You can throw on specific badges that really help it and do some special things, but you got to be very, very careful with it. Again, this is one of those things that it just depends on the scenario. And sometimes it's easier said than done when it comes to it. As you can see right here, we're talking about how this build is going to function. That is a problem. Okay. But again, still too early to judge the build in total, but we're just trying to show you guys the idea in here. So the combinations are what's important. When you're playing a finisher, okay, your focus should be on the badges and what you can do with the build that you have right now, okay? So if you look closely, there are some great things that this build does have, and we want to pay attention to that. The way we can continue to grow with this build. So right here, let's take a quick look so that you guys can see what we have going on. As you can see right now, there's not much, but the main thing you want to focus on is this specific bully badge. We're going to point it out very carefully here as we go. Bully badge, very incredible. And this is probably the only badge that they're going to be non-stop using. Of course, we have Slithery as well. And giant slayer, but at 6'6", and if you're being guarded by a guard, you're going to be able to take them down. But the point here is he has a couple of decent badges with Fearless Finisher, Acrobat, and Slithery, but the key is Bully. And if you look, we're going to take a little deeper look on top of this setup here. He has a 95 overall, which is ridiculous on this build. For a 6'6" player to have a 95 in strength, that is going to be insane. Finishers are going to have a lot of fun this year with some of these new badges and the new physical aspect of the game. So make sure you go ahead and test one out. But again, you want to test it and see if that's the play style that fits you. But what I want to talk about here is the fact that you can see he doesn't have any posterizer at all, which is a tough situation. You want to have that. And then of course, Limitless Takeoff allows you to take off from further. Those two are very critical in my personal opinion. This whole pack right here, these four are the key to the game. As you can notice, they're all on tier 3. There's a reason for that. 2K is very smart. These are going to be some of the amazing ones. And another one that I'm going to talk about right now that I actually really like as well is Masher. It's going to be interesting to see how all of these 6 combine together. Those are the ones that I would want on a finishing build. But again, this is more of a 6'6" shooter, dribbler, and a great defender for the most part here. Amazing rebounds and much more. But again, the key component is to understand what your build can do, what is it offering overall, and how it can play a role for everybody else. All right, you can see the actual shooting is done extremely well. You take close attention. Quick first step, most important, right here. Got that. As I told you guys, pretty easy to get that with an 88 speed with ball if you have that. And if not, you're going to want to get an 89, which is what he has exactly to the T. So this is where he is able to unlock that speed. Now, the issue is, what else can he do? He has everything else pretty much on go. The key ones, for example, Unpluckable, very nice. I like that one a lot. The problem here, he's not going to be a dribble head too much at 6'6" with a silver handle for days. Again, this badge might change in the near future, but those are things that you want to think about. Again, until the game is officially tested for a couple of days, you won't know what exactly is the best builds out there and how it all functions. But it's always fun to explore and break these things down as we go forward. Hope you guys are enjoying this quick breakdown as we discuss some specifics, hopefully helping you understand how the whole system works. And for shooting, once again, this is a really nice build with an 85 3-pointer. So it is really doing something nice in the setup here. There's a lot of new badges that I actually really like, but as you can see, he does not have many Hall of Fames in tier 3. And this is one that you really want. And this one right here, Limitless Range, and as well as Agent 3 could get very interesting for this year. Of course, Deadeye and Blinders are top tier as well, but those are just a little breakdown on what to expect, what you can end up getting with this build right here at 6'6". One thing I like about the build is that it is 6'6", but it's so strong, so it's going to be able to finish, but it can pop a 3 when necessary at an 85 overall. I think that's going to be a really nice, comfortable space when you play this game. All right, now with all that out of the way, one of my favorite things is defense. It's actually my favorite thing in all of basketball. And I consider myself very well-rounded when it comes to this. And we're going to talk about this build at 6'6". Okay, he is not your lockdown defender. He has an 80 perimeter. Now, that puts him with bronze for clamps. That is not healthy. That is not good, to be honest with you. So he's going to have a very hard time unless he's off ball. But the odd thing is a big guy like that should be able to lock someone down. He might end up having to play a power forward style build at 6'6", because this kind of fits the power forward just a little bit. And the reason for that, as you can look down below, his main skill and the main thing that makes this build very interesting and different is the 99. I mean, what is he doing, right? It's the question. It's like 99 offensive rebound. That is a really smart move, because that can be very critical in a game. So with that right there, he's going to have all of the key badges for rebounding. For example, Hall of Fame rebound chaser. That's insane. That's going to be very, very special. This build right here could be interesting. The box out beast as well. Those are just things that I believe can make this build stand out. All right. And with silver badges, honestly, I've been doing very well with a lot of silver badges. I think that's a good area for some of these. And for example, Interceptor, one of the best badges of last year. We're going into this year, hopefully having this one very, very critical, because you want to be able to make people pay for bad passes. Okay, but this one is in tier 3, so it's not even worth it, guys. And this is what I'm trying to explain, the synergy of creating the right proper build in this whole thing. Okay, and we don't want to keep going too deep. We already went over the limit here on things like this. We are going to have reviews for each of the builds that we've seen, and we'll get into that as we go forward. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to have so much more throughout the year. See you soon. Peace.